Okay, so welcome back to the North End in Boise, Idaho, where we're going to be doing some parging. First of all, when you deal with parging, you've got to make sure you use fire clay. So you're going to have your fire clay, and I use spec mix, and sometimes I use sand depending on if I'm using on exterior, but this time we're using no sand because we're going interior. There's a little bit of sand inside the spec mix already, so we're going to use that. But this is what we're using on this is a bonding enhancer, and it's about $20 for a gallon, and we're going to put about a half a gallon in a bucket like this, and then we're going to add a little bit of water when we get up to the top, and we're going to need to bring a little bit of this, and we're going to put a little bit of this in our mix. Matter of fact, let's do that now. And this is going to help the new adhere to the old. And of course, we're going to use water to mix. And so that's basically our materials. Now we're going to go up top to this beautiful north side house on the north end in Boise. And not quite sure how old this house is. I believe it's yeah, it's connected with it's registered with the National Register of Historic Places, and so it doesn't have a date on it, but I believe it's probably the early 1900s. I don't think it's before 1900. I think it's probably around the 20s or so. So this might have been the first house on this block because it's right by a school, and usually the other ones are like tract homes, or you have, what do they call those, Yolanda? The Craftsman, the one with the big eaves, rafters hanging out. And so now we're going to go up and take a look up top. You almost up, babe? Set the ladder, set the bucket up there first, and she's going to step up. I'm right behind you. So now we're up, and we have this stucco chimney that we just did yesterday. That was a heavy coarse texture to match this type of a texture here, and you can see it's got the really big heavy texture type of situation going on. My wife's wetting down the roof so that our film from our work doesn't leave streaks, and so we got to get it nice and wet. That way it hoses off real fast. I like to bring my hose up on the roof instead of work with tarps, because if you get anything under the tarp, you're going to have a situation where the mortar gets underneath the tarp and you don't know it, and you're there for all day. Again, this is a painted brick chimney. Now this is actually what we had to deal with. As you can see, where the old is crumbled, and then we've got our new coming onto it. And so we have our own special stuff that causes our mortar to adhere to paint even, and you've probably seen our videos where we have stain that actually sticks to paint. I mean, as far as I know, we're the only company that can do that. This set up real well. We're going to be taking this off today. We laid all this because we want this to be nice and strong when we overlay it. This is already nice and strong here. And so what this video is to introduce our parger. Now the original code is when the house was built on these was that you would have 5/8 of an inch of fire clay. And if you could look down here, you'll see that there actually is a little area where, well, maybe you can't see it from here, where there was actually the fire clay that would be parged or coated on the inside. There's a little area there you can see, and so that's what we have to continue. Is about 6 feet down and up. There's a little bit of area there where it's parged at the bottom, and then we have our mop here that we invented, and we're going to be using this to mop the area where the bricks are exposing the joints, so that we can bring this back to its original code so they can use their fireplaces. And so I'm going to push pause. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is take our moose milk. We're going to add some water in it. Not too much, because we want to crystallize. We want it to crystallize pretty good. And what I'm going to do is take this brush here. I'm just going to kind of feed the brick here on the inside. And this is going to just kind of drip down onto the actual brick. And this crystallizes as soon as it dries. And so we're going to want to make sure we get enough on there to mop. And I'm going to only have to do half at a time because this is such a big chimney. And you've probably seen our pictures on our Continuing the Authenticity on the Older Style album. Continuing the Authenticity is what it's called on our Facebook page. And that one will actually have pictures of this, but we don't have a video. This will be our first video. And so now what I want to do is give me some soupy fire clay. So you have to unlock it. See, and